If I look like a mess, it's because I was just filming TikToks for the last 45 minutes. But hey guys, and happy Vlogmas Day 22. Here we are, a part 2 that I didn't know I was going to be making. Didn't know that there was going to be a part 2 for this video, and yeah, I mean, I guess I can just start off by saying that I did not think that this story time would ever have another video to it. The first video that I did was the whole story of what I knew, and it was just done. It was like a closed chapter. I shared it with you guys, which is probably like my favorite thing to do, because for me, being able to talk to people about situations that happen and kind of explain my story is almost therapeutic. I don't really know how to explain it. I don't even know if I'm gonna like leave that in or like really get into depth about it, but it makes me feel better being able to sit here and talk, not necessarily talk to someone about it, but kind of just get it out is helpful when things like this happen. And I'm sure if you are a YouTuber as well and you've done videos like this, you kind of understand what I'm talking about. It's almost like journaling or writing things down or writing a letter and burning it type thing. It just helps to get things out, but it also is so helpful for me to be able to go through your comments after I post a video like this to get, you know, to read things that have happened to you guys and to see that something that I talked about was exactly what you were going through and that it helped you. And that just helps me so much, that if I'm helping one person, I'm happy. And to know that a lot of the times I'm going through something that you guys are going through, or I've gone through something that you guys are currently going through. So that's the reason I make these videos. This situation happened a year ago. So it's really crazy to me that I'm even having to still kind of talk about it. Not that I'm having, like I have to talk about it. I choose to talk about it. But even though the situation happened a year ago, this is still something that I just found out like 3 weeks ago. So no, I'm not bringing up drama or tea from a year ago. This is literally something that I found out on Thanksgiving. I've had time to think about it, go through the emotion of being angry, being upset, being confused, being like, what in the world? And now I'm ready to kind of just talk about it calmly. And I think that's so important. I think the worst thing anyone could ever do is find out something or whatever and immediately do a video on it, because your emotions are so raw and real and like deep in that moment that it just is. It's not my point of making the video. My point is not to sit here and bash the person or whatever. It's to share my side of the story, because it's not fair that I have to be silent and the other person can go like do whatever they want, and I don't want to look stupid. And in this situation, I feel like I kind of looked stupid. I also kind of talked about this in my friend's podcast, and I didn't think that I was going to talk about it on my channel. I had talked about it on their podcast shortly after it happened, about like a week after it happened. And after I had spoken about it on their podcast, and I'm gonna leave the podcast down below, so if you want to go check that out, you can. But after I spoke about it on their podcast, it felt weird to me that I had spoken about something that wasn't on my channel. Like, it was weird to me that my viewer could go look at that and be like, wow, why didn't she talk about that on her channel? So that's why we're here now. I spoke about it a little bit on their channel, and now we're gonna go into depth, and I'm gonna explain it to you guys as well, because I think it's important to share this kind of stuff. I don't know. So if you don't know what I'm talking about, I will also leave link down below the first cheated on story time that I did, how I found out I was being cheated on. I'll leave that link down below, and this is kind of like a part 2 to that. I had known that this person, I don't know what I called him in my last video. Okay, actually, in that video, I didn't care enough to give him a name, so I just called him my ex. I guess we could just do that again. Yeah, that's fine, whatever. So I had found out that my ex was cheating on me through an Instagram live. He mentioned that he had seen his now girlfriend, which was his ex-girlfriend. He got back with his ex-girlfriend, that they had seen each other and hung out, and he like said that in a live after we broke up. He said something like, oh yeah, we hung out, and it was sometime in November, and I was like, we were still dating in November, that's weird. So that's kind of how I found out that he was cheating on me. I didn't know the extent of it, of course. I just knew that they hung out. That was all I knew. And now fast forward to Thanksgiving. Of course, I really get into like the whole cheated on situation in the first one, so if you haven't seen the first one and you want to know more about that, then definitely go check it out. Like I said, I'll leave it down below. But now fast forward to this past Thanksgiving, so for less than a month ago, 3 weeks ago pretty much, I was scrolling on my Explore page on Instagram. I even have a screenshot of the Explore page with the picture on it, because I just wanted to like show people when I told them like, oh my god, I just saw this, that I wasn't lurking on anyone's stuff. I wasn't searching for something. Like, I'm completely over the whole situation, so I don't care enough to be looking. But I was on my Explore page and I couldn't see like the faces in the picture. All I could see was like the bottom down. So I clicked on it. I go through people's Explore, sorry, my hair is annoying me. I look at people's Explore stuff all the time, and it happened to be his now girlfriend. So I go down to the caption because they were going like this, and I was like a little confused, and I scroll down and it's on Thanksgiving. Like, the picture was posted on Thanksgiving, so November 28th of this year, and it says happy 1 year anniversary. Now the reason this is so crazy is because me and him didn't break up until last year, December 7th. So from the 28th of November, when he asked his ex-girlfriend to be his girlfriend, like full-blown dating, boyfriend and girlfriend, they have an anniversary. From November 28th all the way to December 7th, me and him were still dating in that gap of time. Like, yeah, I had no idea, of course. We were talking less and less every day, so I knew something was up, but he was just giving me like excuses after excuses, nothing to make me think that there was something wrong with us. Like, he was giving me excuses that I'm not really going to get into because they're kind of personal, but they were not excuses that were making me think he's seeing someone else. That was not what I was thinking at all. So he ended up coming to where I live, because we didn't live in the same state. He ended up having a wedding where I live, and he drove down on December 7th, and that's when we broke up. Not once did he mention that he was seeing his ex. Not once did he mention that they were full-blown dating again. He gave me personal reasons as to why we were breaking up, and almost made it seem like we could still get back together after he dealt with what he was dealing with. Not once did he mention being with someone new. Not once did he mention, oh, like I'm talking to my ex again. Not at all. I had no idea that he had been seeing this girl when he had broke up with me. Hi, me editing it here. He also went so into depth about basically saying to me, like, don't move on too fast. Like, please don't start dating someone too quick. Like, it'll kill me. Like, I'm begging you, don't move on too quick. As he broke up with me, when in reality, he already had a girlfriend. So definitely made it seem like we were breaking up due to personal reasons and not because he was full-blown with someone else. He sat there crying, begging me not to move on too quick. So, all right, back to the video. Now, like I said, fast forward to Thanksgiving of this year, 2019, a year later, and I find out that they were actually dating while we were still dating, and it's just so crazy to me. So after seeing that Instagram picture on my Explore page, the first thing that I wanted to do was message the girl, because I thought, the way that my brain and like my heart works is, I thought this poor girl had no idea that he was basically dating someone else when he asked her to be his girlfriend, and that's just sick. Like, that's awful. And all I wanted to do was like be, hey, like, girl to girl, I'm so sorry, but like, I want you to know the truth. And I sat on it for a couple days, and I thought, should I do it? Should I not? I wasn't doing it in any sort of malicious way. I was going to do it to, you know, like I said, be girl to girl. I just want you to know the truth. And then I was talking to one of my best friends, Danielle, about the situation. I feel like she always keeps me very level-headed and very, like, has me think about things before I do them. And she basically said, at first, she said, type out something that you would want to say and just leave it in your notes for a couple days and think about it. And as I was thinking about it, it occurred to me that this girl, his now girlfriend, could have known about me. She could have very well seen me on his Instagram story from the week prior, because he actually was in town staying with me from like November 8th to the 18th, I think, like 10 days before he asked this other girl to be his full-blown girlfriend, which is gross. She could have very well seen me on his Instagram story during EDC, which is a festival that we went to, and thought, like, I want to break them up, I want him back, or whatever the case may be. I don't know if she did that, and I would really hope that she didn't. I would hope that she's a better person than that, and it sucks because I was trying to be a good person and like let her know what was going on. But then it obviously occurred to me, and me and Danielle talked about it a little bit more, and she said she could have known about you and it could have been on purpose, and I just didn't want to look stupid. I didn't want to text her and be like, hey, girl to girl, I just want you to know the truth, and her literally laugh in my face and be like, honey, I knew about you, I know, and like that whole type of situation. I did not want to be involved in that. But it just sucks that I wanted to be a good person when in reality she could have been the opposite, and she could have known about me the whole time and not have cared, and literally been like, oh, I saw you on his story and I'm gonna slide into his DMs. And I don't obviously know, and I will never know what occurred and why they started talking again, how they got back together. I don't really care. I don't care. Yes, it has to do with me, obviously, but it doesn't matter to me, obviously, especially anymore. But it was a good thing for me to kind of type out this message to her and then just keep it in my notes. Kind of, like I said, get everything out without hitting send. Like I said, I just didn't want to look stupid and her basically laugh in my face and be like, I knew who you were. I know exactly who you are, and haha, like I won type thing. But who knows, she could have had no idea, and I could have been helping a sister out. It's just not the risk that I wanted to take. In my opinion, it would have been my place to say something, because I know if I was in a relationship, I would want someone to come to me and be like, hey, your now boyfriend was dating me when he asked you to be his girlfriend. I would want someone to let me know that, because how could you have a real loving relationship if it started out with basically a lie? I don't really know how that works out. Not something that I want to be a part of. And this is where it gets even more crazy. Now, this is where it gets into like the manipulation side of it, which it kills me to think that there are people like this in the world, and it's just mind-blowing. People that really manipulate others to think that they did something wrong. Like, someone manipulates someone to think that they did something wrong when it's really that person who's doing something wrong. So now, hold on, I have receipts, guys, don't worry. So now fast forward, like I said, we broke up on December 7th. He already had a new girlfriend since November 28th. So had a girlfriend since November 28th. That's when he asked about. We broke up December 7th. Now on December 14th, like a week later, he starts messaging me on Instagram, like freaking out on me about my pictures. He was basically freaking out because I was wearing a shirt that said thank you, and I made the caption thank you next. And this was right around the time that Ariana's song came out and the whole album came out. So, and I'm obsessed with Ariana if you know me at all. So I made it my caption. It had nothing to do with the situation. I was not the one, obviously, who wanted to break up. So I was not saying thank you next at all. And also wasn't the one that was already in a new relationship. So that's weird. He basically even goes into the fact of saying, like, I think I need to unfollow you because I cannot even look at the things that you post. Like, the things that you post just are disgusting, and like I can't look at them without being upset. But it's weird. So that happened, and then on on December 16th, a couple days later, he was like responding to my story. We were talking about me getting a new job. And then on December 17th, we were still kind of going back and forth talking about that. Little did I know, like I said, he had a full-blown girlfriend since November 28th, because he was literally still messaging me. And then I responded to his story on December 29th, because that was when he finally posted like with his new girlfriend. And I was like, what? Like, what is happening? Like, I'm so confused. And yeah, that's kind of how that came about, and obviously since then we have not spoken, clearly. It's just crazy because in those moments that he was messaging me, freaking out about my picture of me saying thank you next, I felt like I did something wrong. I felt like, oh my god, I shouldn't have posted that. I feel so bad now, when like little did I know he had a full-blown girlfriend and had a girlfriend since the 28th of November when we were still dating. And it just is crazy to look back at that and know how manipulating he was and how he was truly trying to make me feel bad when I didn't do anything wrong, and I did feel bad. And that is just something that I know so many people go through and that so many people are capable of doing, and it's just, it sucks. So if you are going through that, and if you are going through something like that, I understand, I know how you feel, and if there's any advice that I could give you is that it does get better, clearly. It's been a year since the whole situation happened, and I've just grown so much since then. I'm so much stronger. I know what I want in a relationship. I know what I deserve in a relationship, and I will never let someone treat me like that again, and I know the signs and everything. And like I said, I've just grown so much. I've gotten to know me so much more, and it's awesome. So if you right now are sitting here watching this and you are going through something similar, please just know that it's not the end of the world, and you will be more than fine. You'll be better than fine. You will be amazing. Like I said, I don't make these videos to be malicious. I don't make these videos to start drama or tea. I never say names in anything, just because I'm here to tell my story. And yeah, I guess that's pretty much it. I know this story time is probably going to be all over the place when I really get into depth about things, especially when they're things that like have a lot of information. It's hard for me to kind of gather my thoughts with everything because there's so many things I want to touch on, and I want to make sure I'm saying it correctly, and I don't want to say anything wrong, and I don't want to bash anyone, and I should really just sit here and say what I want to say. It's my channel, it's my life, it's what happened to me, so I shouldn't have to sit here and be like, okay, I can say that, I can't say that, but it's just who I am. I'm a nice person, and I don't want to hurt anyone, but I want to share my story, and I should be able to do that because it's my story, and it makes me feel good to be able to like get it out and talk to you guys, and then go through and read your comments and see what you've been through. So thank you guys for being that outlet for me. Thank you for being here basically a year since everything has happened. I know that you guys don't know this, but it means so much to me being able to do this. Thank you. I love you guys. And I can't believe we're already on 22 days of Vlogmas. I can't believe we're already on the 22nd day. There are 3 days left, which is so crazy to me. I say this every single time, but as it gets to the end, I'm just like mind blown. So thank you so much for being here for the last 22 days if you have been. If you have not been and this is the first video of me that you're ever seeing, hi. Things get kind of crazy here, but welcome. Subscribe and turn on post notifications so you don't miss anything else like this. I don't think there's gonna be a part 3. Unless there's some new information that I find out that I have to share with you guys, but I really kind of hope that this is where I could just shut it, throw it away, and leave it, even though I've loved sharing all this information with you guys and having you kind of be here for me during this whole journey. It's been a year. I really hope I don't find anything else. Nothing else on my explore page. Please, God, I don't need it. I don't want it. I don't need it. I don't get it though. Like, I don't get why the explore page does this. My ex's girlfriend's pictures will always pop up on my explore page. I don't search her name. I don't look her up. I don't do anything. Her name, she's just always on my explore page. And I'm like, why? Like, go away. I guess it's a good thing. I guess God wanted me to see that year post and let me know that, hey, this happened, just so you know. Now go make a story time about it. I'm awful. But no, really, I think God kind of sprinkled it in my lap to be like, you need another story time? Here it is. It's right here. Here's a new story time for you. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you like this video, make sure you give it a big thumbs up. Just give it a thumbs up because why not? And we always love a good part 2 to a story time. Like I said, comment down below if you want to talk to me about anything. If you've been through this, have gone through this, you know, your opinions on it, anything like that. I would love to hear from you guys in the comments, and it's kind of just like an open forum. You could talk about anything, and like I said, subscribe and turn on post notifications, especially if you're new, because welcome. Hi, how are ya? I would love to have you guys in the fam. And again, thank you so much for always being here for me and for letting me just kind of blab on and rant about absolutely anything and everything. I appreciate it so much. I love you guys, and I will see you tomorrow with a brand new video. Bye.